When people think of Asia's best English speakers, certain names always come up. Singapore, known for sharp business English. India, with its massive English-speaking population. Or maybe Hong Kong, with its colonial history. But here's the twist. Time and again, the Philippines ranks at the top. Global English proficiency charts put it first. That raises a big question. Who really speaks better English in Asia? This isn't just about grammar or accent. It's about something bigger. Language is power. It shapes how nations connect with the world. It decides how people compete globally. And it influences how intelligence is perceived. And the Philippines? It punches far above its weight. Its call centers dominate global outsourcing. Freelancers thrive in the digital economy. Workers abroad communicate with ease. Even in entertainment, the fluency stands out. The Filipino English link is unique in Asia. So here's the plan. We'll compare the Philippines to its neighbors. We'll ask, who really speaks better English? And why does it matter so much? Stick around until the end. You'll see why Filipinos aren't just fluent. They show that language is intelligence, that it's resilience, and that it's smart adaptability in action. The history of English Indiana, the Philippines. To understand why the Philippines stands out today, we need to go back in time. For more than 300 years, the Philippines was under Spanish rule. Surprisingly, Spanish never became the dominant everyday language. It was spoken mainly by the elite, clergy, and government officials. The majority of Filipinos continued speaking native languages. Tagalog, Cebuano, and Ilocano remained dominant across the islands. This meant that when a new colonial power arrived, there wasn't a strong nationwide attachment to Spanish. In 1898, after the Spanish-American War, the Philippines was ceded to the U.S. Here's where history takes a sharp turn. The Americans introduced English as the medium of instruction. They rolled out a massive public education system. Schools were built, and American teachers, the Thomasites, arrived. This gave Filipinos across social classes access to English. Within a generation, English literacy spread rapidly. Compare this with Japan, Korea, and China. Those nations prioritized their own languages for identity. English was taught later as a secondary subject. The Philippines went the opposite route. English became central in education, government, media, and law. That legacy still shapes the country today. Court proceedings and business contracts use English. College lectures are conducted in English as well. Newspapers and pop culture reinforce the habit. Even casual conversations among young professionals often switch seamlessly between English and Filipino. This deep embedding didn't happen by accident. It was the result of a century-long experiment. That experiment turned the Philippines into one of Asia's most bilingual nations. Comparing English proficiency in Asia. So how does the Philippines stack up against its Asian neighbors today? Let's look at the numbers. According to the YEF English Proficiency Index, the Philippines ranks high or very high. That places it alongside Singapore and ahead of China, Japan, and South Korea. Singapore is often considered the gold standard in Asia. But here's the catch. English is Singapore's official working language, closer to a first language than foreign. Filipinos learn English alongside Filipino and regional dialects, yet reach near-native fluency. That's a remarkable achievement compared to neighbors. Now let's look at India. India has hundreds of millions of English speakers, the largest outside the West. But consistency is the challenge. Accents vary widely. Fluency levels are uneven. English thrives in business and education, but daily integration is weaker than in the Philippines. Indian English, though strong academically, can be harder for outsiders to follow. Malaysia also takes a bilingual approach. English is widely taught and used in business, but daily conversations remain largely in Malay. English doesn't dominate casual culture. Now consider Japan, Korea, and China. They invest billions into English education. Private tutoring, cram schools, and exchange programs are widespread and expensive. Yet conversational fluency remains weak. The focus stays on exams and drills. Many students write essays but struggle in natural conversation. That gap persists. The Philippines is different. English is part of entertainment, customer service, and social media. Millions of Filipinos work in call centers, freelancing, or YouTube, all in fluent English. That everyday exposure makes a huge difference in fluency and confidence. Foreigners find Filipino English clear, accessible, and easy to understand. That can't always be said about other Asian varieties. Filipino culture and smart adaptability. English proficiency in the Philippines isn't just about history or rankings. It's about culture. Unlike in other countries, Filipinos live the language daily, not just study it. From childhood, English media surrounds them. Hollywood movies aren't dubbed, but shown in English. Pop music on the radio is mostly English. Social media blends English and Tagalog. This constant exposure makes English feel natural, not foreign. Education reinforces this. Science, math, law, and medicine are taught in English. A Filipino student defends a thesis or writes research papers in English. By graduation, they're fluent in technical and academic English. Overseas workers add another layer. Nurses, engineers, and teachers use English abroad. It becomes their bridge to survival, integration, and success. But Filipinos don't abandon local languages. Instead, they switch easily. Taglish blends Tagalog and English in natural conversation. For example, Grabe, traffic SAEDSA today, super stressful, I almost missed my meeting. This code switching shows high mental flexibility and context awareness. Studies reveal bilinguals perform better in memory and problem-solving tasks. Growing up multilingual gives Filipinos a cognitive edge beyond language. Their adaptability, humor, and cultural connection come from this linguistic intelligence. Why Filipinos speak English differently? One reason the Philippines stands out is that Filipino English sounds different, and in a good way. The accent is often described as neutral. Unlike Indian English or Japanese learners, it flows smoothly. Western ears find it clear, polite, and friendly. That's why call centers thrive in the Philippines. Spelling and grammar follow American standards. Color, not color. Apartment, not flat. Even slang like awesome, guys, and cool slip naturally into Filipino speech. Decades of U.S. movies, TV, music, plus family ties abroad reinforce American-style English. There's also a professional layer. BPO employees train in grammar, tone, and cultural nuances. A Filipino call center agent can sound formal for banking, casual for tech support. That adaptability is rare. Compare this with India, where English is strong but accents vary. Sometimes communication feels harder for global customers. In East Asia, English often feels stiff, grammatically correct, but less conversational. Filipino English feels relaxed, adaptive, approachable, bridging formal boardrooms and casual vlogs alike. This flexibility isn't just about language, it reflects mindset. Filipinos see English not as foreign, but as a tool to bend and blend with culture. English as a smart tool for global success. English has become one of the Philippines' smartest tools for global success. Proof is everywhere. First, the BPO industry. Millions work in call centers, generating billions in revenue. US, Australian, and European companies rely on Filipinos for clarity and customer empathy. Second, freelancing. On Upwork and Fiverr, Filipinos excel in writing, VA, and design. Their smooth communication gives them an edge in the global gig economy. Third, education exports. Thousands of Filipino teachers work in Japan, Korea, and Thailand. It's a reversal. Bigger economies hire Filipinos to teach English. That shows mastery not just of English, but of teaching it. Migration adds another layer. Millions of OFWs use English daily abroad. Nurses in London, seafarers in the Mediterranean. English is their global bridge. But English power goes beyond jobs. It signals intelligence, adaptability, and empathy. Filipinos make communication engaging, not just correct. Take nurses, valued not just for skill, but for bedside manner in English. They explain complex procedures clearly, build trust, and comfort patients. Seafarers, too, navigating crews from many nations using English as common ground. In short, English isn't just a skill in the Philippines, it's a national asset. It powers industries, migration, freelancing, and global reputation. For Filipinos, it's not only about speaking well, it's about connecting well. The limitations and criticisms. Of course, no story is complete without acknowledging the criticisms. Some argue that English weakens national identity. Critics say Filipinos sometimes prioritize English, treating it as prestige or intelligence. There's even a term, colonial mentality. The idea English is superior because it's foreign. Inequality is another issue. Cities like Manila, Cebu, Davao produce fluent speakers, But rural areas often lack access to the same quality of education or exposure. This creates a gap where not every Filipino masters English equally. And yet, critics miss something crucial. For many, English means survival. It opens doors to overseas work, remote jobs, and global education. Without it, millions would lose a key advantage in today's world. The challenge is balance. How to preserve rich local languages while excelling in English. The good news: bilingualism doesn't mean erasure, it means expansion. Filipinos can honor heritage while mastering a global tongue. That adaptability itself is a mark of intelligence. Comparing intelligence factor. Now let's talk about intelligence. Studies show bilinguals gain strong memory and problem-solving skills. They enjoy greater mental flexibility, and the Philippines has this advantage built in. Think of daily life. At home, many speak Cebuano or Ilocano. At school, lessons are in English. With friends, Taglish flows naturally. This effortless switching isn't just culture, it's proof of mental agility. The brain juggles multiple languages, strengthening pathways for adaptability and learning. This linguistic intelligence also fuels cultural adaptability. Abroad, Filipinos earn reputations as quick learners in any environment. They adjust to Western workplaces, Middle Eastern customs, or Asian cultures. Language becomes their bridge and shield. But intelligence goes beyond academics. It's social and emotional too. English lets Filipinos express empathy, humor, and cultural sensitivity. That's why nurses are valued not just for skill, but communication. It's why Filipino YouTubers and freelancers build global audiences. They don't just speak English, they connect with it. So when we say Filipinos are smart, it's no empty line. It's layered intelligence, linguistic, cultural, emotional. Mastering English, this naturally proves adaptability and brilliance. Who really speaks better English? So after all this, who really speaks the best English in Asia? Singapore deserves recognition. Its English is structured and official. But English there is a first language, not a second. India has the largest English-speaking population outside the US. Yet accents vary, and fluency differs widely across regions. Indian English excels in academia and business, but struggles casually. Japan, Korea, and China spend billions on English education. But results are mixed, strong in tests, weak in conversation. Many can write essays, but few speak naturally. This leaves the Philippines. What sets it apart is balance. English isn't just academic or official, it's lived daily. It's conversational, expressive, and globally understandable. From classrooms to call centers, from TikTok to boardrooms, English flows naturally. So, who speaks better English? Others may have size or systems, but by clarity, adaptability, and connection, the Philippines stands out. So, who really speaks better English in Asia? The answer may surprise. The Philippines emerges as the clear standout. Why? Everyday use. English is woven into life, not just exams. A neutral accent, easy for global audiences to understand. Bilingual intelligence, giving mental flexibility and adaptability. And economic gains, call centers, freelancing, migration, and more. But it's deeper than language. Filipinos show intelligence isn't just grammar. It's connection, resilience, and adaptability on the world stage. Their English reflects a mindset blending pride and opportunity. At the end of the day, English isn't just a subject. It's a passport, opening industries, travel, and global storytelling. And that's why Filipinos aren't just good at English. They're among Asia's smartest and most adaptable people.